Hello there, it's Andy Parks from the Washington Times. And just when you think crime can't get any worse in America, here comes the idiot DA from Manhattan. I'll try to explain his line of thinking, if that's possible, along with other crazy news of the week next. But first, as a listener to my podcast, you qualify to receive a 50% discount on an annual digital subscription to the Washington Times. Simply go to washingtontimes.com/Andy. That's washingtontimes.com/ANDY. All right, his name is Alvin Bragg. He was elected by New Yorkers to become the first African-American district attorney. His soft-on-crime approach is not sitting well with voters. You think? So much so that a group of New York businessmen have started a group calling for Bragg's recall. Other district attorneys and those same businessmen are saying Bragg is putting out the welcome mat for thugs. Guess what? They're right. So why would they vote for a guy who has said in the past, with Al Sharpton by his side, "We will be tough when we need to be, but we will not be seeking to destroy lives through unnecessary incarceration"? What? Translation: even though these thugs committed the crimes, it's not up to us to incarcerate them. It may ruin the rest of their life. Yes, this genius no longer wants to bring charges for those who resist arrest, trespass, conduct open-air drug sales, or are engaged in prostitution. He says this is more fair and humane. He said his plan will make us safer. How? How does that work? This does nothing but put cops in more danger. He doesn't care. He has police protection 24 hours a day. What a jackass. And then, out of the same garbage hole, New York City, comes this. The new mayor is among others who want non-citizens to have the right to vote. The Republican National Committee has been forced to sue to stop them. One RNC official points out, if the Democrats get away with it in the biggest city in the U.S., it will begin to happen everywhere. The law, something evidently for Republicans only, says only legal citizens can vote in America. Period. It's in writing, folks. The Democrats know they're going to get whooped big time in November, and this is the perfect opportunity to cheat the system. Oh, and for the record, the number now stands at 26 Democrats dropping out of politics this year, and it does not include Nancy Pelosi. It's gotten so bad in California, Governor Newsom is giving away the store again. Now, at a cost of $2.2 billion a year, California will pay the health care cost of low-income illegals. Seriously? Meanwhile, Joe Biden's approval numbers remain in the dumpster. He is such a burden to campaigning Democrats, many have asked him not to get involved with their campaigns. The latest, though, is the best. Georgia gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams conveniently missed Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's visit to Georgia to talk about voting rights. That's funny. She's running on that very issue, but she couldn't show up? Biden was asked about it by a member of the press.
Stacey Abrams skipping your speech today, sir? Are you insulted she's skipping the speech?
I'm insulted you asked the question. I spoke with Stacey this morning. We have a great relationship. We got our scheduling mixed up. I've talked with her at length this morning. We're all on the same page, and everything's fine.
And then Biden and Harris jumped on Air Force One and headed to Georgia to give their voting rights speech.
Last week, President Harris and I stood in the United States Capitol to observe one of those before and after moments in American history.
Wait a minute. Did he call her president again?
Last week, President Harris and I stood in the United States Capitol.
Yeah, he did. Wow. That's like the 10th time in a year he's done that. Kind of makes you wonder sometimes, doesn't it? Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor opened her mouth and inserted her foot last week. She evidently thought she knew all about the COVID-19 virus. But when she opened her mouth, she claimed over 100,000 kids were in serious condition, many on ventilators in hospitals across the U.S. She only missed that number by 95,000. Where she got her numbers is not known. But even the Biden administration had to admit she may have exaggerated a bit. We do, however, know one child who has it, AOC. That's right, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the congresswoman from New York and COVID know-it-all, tested positive for COVID. Whoops. She has symptoms and is recovering at home, according to her spokesperson. Also affected this week, Lori Lightfoot, mayor of Chicago. She's got COVID-19. I don't know if you caught any of the Senate hearing with Dr. Anthony Fauci again. This guy is unbelievable. He denies, but now there are emails that show that he knew this COVID virus came from the Wuhan lab. Doctors Roger Marshall and Rand Paul, both U.S. senators, grilled Fauci over his involvement, leading Fauci to say off camera, off mic, he thought, "What a moron." The CDC director, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, finally admitted that COVID hospitalizations were inflated by at least 40%, meaning that at least 40% of those hospitalized because of COVID over the past couple of years should have been hospitalized for something else. After watching the interview on Fox News, CNN's Jake Tapper was appalled and even a bit irked. Seems he finally saw the light that Republicans knew existed 2 years ago. And finally, U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg took a victory lap this week. Yes, even the mayor of L.A., Eric Garcetti, called Pete the man who saved Christmas. Boy, there was a lot of backslapping going on at the press conference on Tuesday at the Port of Los Angeles and Long Beach. Missing, however, was a good hard look at the grocery store shelves across America. Many are absolutely empty, and this clown is standing before an eager press corps that can't wait to tell the world the supply chain is up and running again. I guess Pete and his husband don't go to the grocery store. They probably have someone else to do it for them, someone on our payroll. What a wacky world in which we live. Thanks for joining me today, and remember to receive a 50% discount on an annual digital subscription to the Washington Times. Go to washingtontimes.com/Andy. You'll get 24/7 digital access to the Washington Times at 50% off. Again, go to washingtontimes.com/ANDY. I'm Andy Parks. Have a great day.